Hi friends, my name is Ankur Tomar and welcome to my channel Artist Watist. Today we are going to make our own bookmark by making this beautiful pen and watercolor painting. We will start with the sketch. I'm directly using a pen while you can choose to start with a rough pencil sketch followed by a pen outline. Whenever I am making a graphic illustration and not a realistic one, I like to use pen instead of pencil to draw boundaries of various objects and make the different items in the painting sharply distinct. Here I have taken a bookmark cutout, easily available in art supply stores under various brand names. This is 300 GSM paper, which is great for watercolor painting. GSM means grams per square meter. The higher the GSM is, the heavier the paper is. As 300 GSM is thick, sturdy and offers a premium feel, it is best suited for a bookmark. I am using archival pens with different nib sizes. These pens are superior in quality compared to generic ballpoint pens as they have archival pigment based ink which is fade resistant and will not bleed when water is applied over it. Take a clean mop brush and wet the area where you need the wash. It helps in preparing the paper for an even background or making the base of the painting without sharp edges. On top of this wet wash, I will apply diluted color mix of permanent green olive, grass green and titanium white. I am painting this to make foliage at a distance behind. This is wet on wet technique. We often use it for smooth color transitions as well. To put it simply, the wet on wet technique means painting with wet paint on wet paper, causing colors to bleed and merge softly, creating blurry effects perfect for skies or backgrounds. It's like painting with wet watercolors on a wet paper, making the colors flow and mix on their own rather than staying in sharp lines. For the bright green layer in the trees, I'm using grass green mixed with cadmium yellow. Always use the mop brush when even coverage is needed over undefined areas in the painting. They are great for washes, blending and backgrounds. They can hold significant amount of water and paint and therefore give larger coverage in one stroke. Now that I'm moving to defined objects and details, I will switch to round brushes. For the leaves in the foreground, I'm using thicker grass green mixed with some leftover green colors on my palette. You can always experiment with mixing colors on the palette to get the desired color. I'm leaving small color dots for leaves on the branches. You can change the shades here and there. I prefer to utilize the color in my brush wherever it is required in the painting before washing it off. This saves time, color and effort to get the same color shade again. You can notice that the layer of color below is a bit transparent while the layer of leaves is opaque. I am doing this to make the leaves look closer by using more color and less water while painting the leaves. When I was painting the layer below it, I used little color with more water. Also, the leaves have defined edges while the layer below has a flat color over undefined areas only to signify foliage in the distance. Here I am painting the tree with brown mixed with titanium white and black. To get different shades for the tree trunk, I am mixing these colors in different proportions along with burnt sienna to get darker mixes. This is where I'm experimenting with colors to get the rugged texture look of the bark of the trees. You will notice that the part of the trunk below the legs is painted darker to indicate shadow. I am painting the face with yellow ochre, cadmium red and titanium white to get the basic skin tone. Note that I have switched to a smaller brush because I need to be precise with corners in the face, or it will get distorted with one wrong stroke. I am using dark cadmium orange mixed with a little bit of yellow ochre and gamboge hue here and there. For the lighter parts, I have used more gamboge hue than orange. You will see me spend considerable time in painting color shades on the clothes of the girl, as she is the main subject of the entire painting, and so that's where the first gaze of the viewer goes. I will come back later to this part towards the end to add details and contrast. I will paint the hair of the girl with initially painting brown color diluted with water and then painting black over different areas with varied color values. I will let this paint dry before painting darker black shades for locks of hair flowing in the front. For the shirt, I first made grey by mixing black and white and then mixed blue to get this greyish blue color. After painting the entire shirt flat, I am removing color from the paper while it is still wet to create a gradient from darker to lighter shade. I am then using the same greyish blue mix to paint the creases of the shirt along the arm of the girl. This gives an impression of the creases due to the change in the shades. Notice that the light color we have used, along with the loose fit of the shirt, makes the shirt look lighter too. Now that the hair area has dried, I am adding another layer of painting black over a few spots. I will use the paint on my brush to add shadows and contrast on other spots too, like the tree trunk. Let's get started with adding minute details using fine detail brushes. They are used for painting delicate, intricate lines, sharp edges, and tiny highlights. These can be small round brushes or long rigger brushes. I'm using small round brush of size 003 here. Fine detail brushes don't hold a lot of water and color and are helpful in painting tiny objects with high precision, as using bigger brushes can distort the shapes. I'm making the pen outlines darker and thicker to make them more prominent and defined. To be able to paint a light color like yellow over a darker background, like I'm painting right now over the brown tree trunk, I need to paint using dry on dry technique, which involves applying thick concentrated paint with a barely damp brush on a dry paper. The thick dry color is opaque and hides the darker color beneath it. I am now painting the leaves in the foreground so that the green in the background will indicate denser foliage without explicitly painting them in the shape of the leaves. For very small leaves, I am using a fine detail brush. While painting the water of the passing creek, I have left some portions white to represent bubbles formed by ripples over the rocks underneath. I'm adding white over various areas for highlights as it enhances form in the painting and creates focus and texture. Adding tiny white dots in the trees makes them look like tiny pores in the trees through which sunlight is passing. I feel this addition of small details and highlights is the most interesting part of the painting. When you infuse life into it with small strokes and the painting starts to look beautiful all of a sudden. Let me know in the comments how you like this bookmark painting. In case you have any questions or queries, you can leave them in the comment section. Thanks for your time, and I hope this video could help you in some way. Goodbye, until next one.